Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666. Hey guys, I got a 6-arc video for you today. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the Mil Match ammo from Hornady. It is a 106 grain 8-tip bullet, relatively new to the market, so I'm going to shoot it, see how it groups. I'm also going to do a benchtop overview of all the technical specs. I was also able to get a bunch of the same projectile to reload with, so I'm going to test that out with a handful of different powders and show you the preliminary results. For equipment today, I have a Geisley rifle, the GFR. This is the 16-inch version, Mod 1. Up top is a Leopold Mark V 3-18, and up front is the Velos 556K suppressor. With all that being said, let's get to it. Okay, here's the box for the Mil Match ammo. You can kind of see underneath the sticker that Hornady put over top, there's just kind of print on the box like the standard military cartridge box come in, you know, with lot numbers. When you open it up, you can notice that all the primers are sealed. I don't know of any other factory Hornady ammo that does this. I'm gonna pull the bullet and let's see what the bullet looks like. Let's see what kind of powder is on the inside. Yeah, come out with a fair amount of resistance, nothing crazy. The bullet weighs 106.1. The powder is definitely compressed. There was a little bit stuck on the back of the bullet, and as you see, I'm having to kind of scrape it out from the inside of the casing. I was able to scrape a little bit extra out, so maybe 30.8. Here's a close-up of the powder. I'm not exactly sure what kind of powder it is. I couldn't find that information online, but all 4 of these powders are definitely different. And compared to the other 3, the Mil Match is duller in color, where the rest of them are a little shinier. The granules themselves are a little flatter and larger than the other 3. Here is another close-up of the powder inside the factory 108 ELDMs compared to the Mil Match. Next, we'll take a look at the lot of blem bullets. I started out by pulling 20 of them out just for a little sample to look at the blems. 10 of them, I didn't notice any blem. 9 of them was just a tiny little blem. I'll roll in a picture, but near the where the aluminum tip inserts into the rest of the copper jacket. And then 1 over here had a little bit worse of a blem. Of the blems, the base to ogive was very consistent at, where are we, 1.721. And we'll see how that compares to the pulled bullet. 1.718. All right. Overall length, there was a little more variation in the blem bullets, you know, plus or minus a couple thou, but most of them were 1.327, and the pulled bullet gives us 1.320. So I'm sure there are different lots of bullets. Measuring some of the loaded cartridges, they're pretty consistent at 1.648 cartridge base to ogive, and then overall length, we get 2.253. All right, that sort of sums up our technical overview of the Mil Match ammo. I'm going to load up some of these blem bullets with a few different powders, and let's see how they compare to the factory Mil Match ammo. I have 10 rounds of Mil Match loaded up. Let's see how it shoots. Okay, let's see how it looks. I decided to shoot everything and then talk about it all at the same time. As a side note, the barrel again was 16 inches in length. The temperature outside today is about 48 degrees and it's a little windy, as you can probably hear. So anyways, here's those 10 rounds of the factory Mil Match. We've got an overall group size of 1.6 inches. If you take the best 9, it's 1.2. The average velocity was 24.76, extreme spread of 58, and standard deviation of 17.4. I compared that with just prior. I shot a 5-round group of the factory 108s from Hornady, just to make sure I didn't have any cold bore shots in this group. I made sure to let the barrel cool in between groups for a few minutes. I then shot all the rest of my test groups and came back and shot the remaining 9 rounds of the Mil Match ammo. Overall group size 1.9. If you take the best 8, then it's 1.0, which for a 10-round group is pretty good. The rest of them were 3 rounds. None of them were very impressive. They all had pretty high extreme spreads. With the sample size of 3, you can't really count on SDs very much, but extreme spread is not going to get smaller as you increase sample size. And then I included some other groups from different bullets just to show you the rifle is pretty accurate with 108s and 95 TMKs. All right, there you have it. A quick overview of Mil Match ammo, 106 8 tips, and what they can do paired with a GFR. Thank you for watching.